Get ready with me while I tell you the story of how I became a multi-millionaire overnight. I have like a habit of checking my bank account every night just to make sure that all my bills got paid. I remember this one night I opened my bank account. There were 5 new bank accounts added to my login. Guess how much the bank accounts totaled? It was over $1 million. I remember freaking the freak out and rolling over and like smacking my husband and being like, is this real? It was very much real. The weird part was that these accounts that had been added to my login were not my bank accounts. They're like 5 different bank accounts with different bank account numbers that I was not familiar with. As my husband and I did some digging, we realized that the bank accounts were actually investment accounts with the bank where we bank at. My plan was to go to the bank and say something was wrong, but I did have to go to work first. So I remember going into the office and being like, y'all are not gonna believe what happened to me. After work was over that day, I went in to my bank and I reported obviously that something was wrong and that I had access to 5 bank accounts that were not mine and they all totaled $1 million. I'll be honest, it was kind of crazy because they seemed so nonchalant about it. Like when I walked in, they were so chill. Anyway, obviously I reported it like a good citizen, and at that point it was just a waiting game. I kept checking my bank account every day just to see if the money would go away and if the bank would do anything about it. Well, a few days later, I'm checking my bank account. Aren't gonna believe what happens next. That $1 million that I had in my account, yeah, that $1 million turned into $21 million. At this point, I was like, okay, who's pranking me? Like, what is going on? I'm sitting here trying to figure out, okay, should I change my face and just like dip to another country? This is like retirement, generational wealth. Obviously, I did not do that because it's highly illegal. Can I say I was tempted? Yes. Yes, I can. And so would you. At this point, I knew, okay, I need to go back to the bank. I remember I got to the bank, the like associate that was helping me, when I told her what was going on, was straight up like, ended up being at the bank for a few hours while they contacted like a bunch of higher ups. Inevitably, no one could seem to figure out what was wrong. And so they sent me home saying they filed a report and I just needed to wait. It actually ended up almost taking them 3 full months to get that money off of my account. The bank actually never told me what happened. I never heard from them again. That is the story of how I basically became a multimillionaire overnight. Some of you guys aren't going to believe me. Here is the picture of all of those accounts, and as you can see on the top, that's the total.